News from around the globe. Hot, fresh, balanced and objective. On Unity.
Hello and welcome to News Hour on Unity TV. Today is Monday, 8th of May 2023 and it's equivalent to 18th of Sha'aban 1444 after Hijrah. The headlines. APC plotting to influence presidential election tribunal, says PDP. Gunmen kill police, kidnap caretaker chairman. In Taraba, Federal government airlifts 888 Nigerians from Egypt, plans more evacuation. And on the foreign scene, Slovakia's PM Edward Heger resigns. And in sports, Remo star shock PLATEAU United in fight for Super 6 load. And those were the headlines. And for details and more of the stories, I am Rukayat Sani Ibrahim. The Presidential Election Petition Tribunal Abuja will today begin pre-hearing in the petitions challenging the outcome of the February 25 presidential election. The Independent National Electoral Commission declared that Bola Tinubu of the ruling All Progressives Congress polled 8,794,726 votes to win the election. The Commission declared that Atiku came second with 6,984,520 votes, while it announced Labour Party Peter Obi as the second runner-up with 6,101,533 votes. But Atiku, Obi and some other parties rejected the results announced by INEC and had approached the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal to annul Tinubu's victory. Unity FM had last week reported that the tribunal will begin pre-hearing today. Atiku, in his 66-page petition, is praying the tribunal to declare him winner of the poll or order a fresh election. On his part, Obi, in his petition, is also praying the tribunal to nullify Tinubu's election. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) has raised the alarm over an alleged As the presidential election petition court starts hearing today, the People's Democratic Party and its candidates Atiku Abubakar have filed an application for an order to allow live coverage of the day-to-day proceedings on the case they brought against the president-elect Bola Tinubu. Atiku, who came second in the presidential election held on February 25, in the motion through his team of lawyers led by Chris Uche-San, specifically applied for an order directing the court registry and the parties on modalities for admission of media practitioners and their equipment into the courtroom. The PDP candidate and former vice president contended that the petition he lodged against the president-elect was a matter of national concern and public interest. Atiku, in his joint petition with the PDP, prayed the court to withdraw the certificate of return issued to Tinubu by the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), aside from Atiku and the PDP. The Labour Party and its candidate Mr. Peter Obi, who came third in the election, are equal before the court to nullify Tinubu's election. A three-member panel of the PEPC, which will conduct its proceedings at the Court of Appeal in Abuja, will today commence a pre-hearing session on all the petitions that were brought before it by aggrieved presidential candidates and their political parties. The yet-to-be-identified gunmen on Sunday attacked the caretaker committee chairman of Takum local government area of Taraba State, Mr. Boyi Manja, and killed his orderly before taking him to an unknown location. The incident happened along the Takum Chanchanji Road in the Takum local government area of the state. The State Police Public Relations Officer SP Abdullahi Osman, who confirmed the incident, told newsmen that the command was carrying out a massive search for the chairman as well as the assailants. Takum, which is the hometown of Governor Darius Ishaku and former Minister of Defense General T.Y. Danjuma retired, has not known peace in recent times following attacks and killings in the area since last year. Troops of the Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Hadarin Daji have destroyed several camps belonging to notorious bandits leader Bello Turji, rescued 10 kidnapped victims, and recovered ammunitions. The troops in clearance operations conducted on Saturday from Magaria to Dutse general area of Zurmi local government area in Zamfara state discovered and cleared bandits hideout located in Keta, Gidangaladima, Modawa, Mazuma, and Dutse villages respectively. A top military source who craved anonymity confirmed these to newsmen on Sunday, saying during the operations, troops had encountered a deadly terrorist group at Keta and Dutse camp belonging to Turji. The troops also recovered one rocket-propelled gun bomb, military radios, and some ammunition. Police operatives have rescued 58 kidnapped victims at Udulu Forest, Gegu, local government area of Kogi State, bordering Sadona Forest, Nasarawa State, and other identified kidnappers then in communities contiguous to the Federal Capital Territory. Spokesperson of the FCT Police Command, Josephine Ade, disclosed this in a statement on Sunday, saying the bandits kidnappers on site in the security team coordinated by the police engaged the security team in a shootout duel. Ade said a kidnapped victim identified as Tama Jonathan died during a gun duel between police operatives and the suspected kidnappers. Ade said the rescue operation was part of efforts by the command's leadership to sustain joint operations with other security agencies, vigilantes and hunters from the various local communities, adding that the idea was to combat violent crimes in the FCT, rescue victims and bring perpetrators to book. The federal government has said all Nigerians fleeing the insurrection in Sudan but got stranded at the Egypt border have been airlifted and brought back to Nigeria. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Nasir Sanugorzo, stated this when he received another batch of Nigerian evacuees at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport on Sunday. A total of 834 Nigerian evacuees from Egypt and Port Sudan arrived at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, Abuja, on Sunday, bringing to 1,471 the number of Nigerians so far evacuated and brought back to Nigeria from Egypt and Port Sudan in 5 days. According to Sanugorzo, no Nigerian is left at the Egypt border, as all Nigerians at the point had been evacuated. He noted that those in Port Sudan will all be evacuated in a few days. The Nigerian Army on Sunday in Abuja condemned the maltreatment of civilians by persons clad in military camouflage at Two Seasons Hotel and Resort, Kaduna. Director of Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, stated that the assault was an aberration of the values and ethics of professionalism, courage, selflessness, and service to humanity which the Nigerian Army represented. He stressed that the Army was aware of a provocative and unacceptable video footage trending in the social media in which certain persons clad in military uniform were molesting civilians. He added that the Army has a disciplined and regimented organization, was committed to the supremacy of the Constitution, defense of sovereignty and territorial integrity of the nation. He urged members of the public to report any untoward conduct by troops to the Nigerian Army Human Rights Desk at the headquarters Nigerian Army at the divisional headquarters. And on the foreign scene, Slovakia's Prime Minister Edward Haga said Sunday he has sent out the resignation of his caretaker government amid a rumbling political crisis. MPs in the EU and NATO member country toppled Haga's four-party coalition government in a vote of no confidence in December. Since then, an interim government led by Haga have been running the country until first elections are held on September 30. On Thursday, Agriculture Minister Samuel Viklan announced his resignation after a case involving a $1.6 million subsidy to his company. On Friday, Foreign Minister Rastislav Kesa also said he planned to leave the government without specifying why. Similarly, Serbian Education Minister Branko Ružić resigned on Sunday, 4 days after a school shooting that saw a 13-year-old killed 8 students and a security guard. Ružić offered his condolences to the victims' families of a cataclysmic tragedy that has rocked the Balkan nation in an open letter sent to Serbian Prime Minister Ana Brnabić. The 47-year-old prominent member of the Socialist Party of Serbia, a junior coalition partner in government, originally blamed the internet, video games and Western values for the unprecedented massacre. Opposition parties and human rights groups immediately called for minister's resignation, while thousands gathered in front of the ministry a day after the shooting, conveying the same message. Less than 48 hours after the school shooting, the small Balkan country was shocked again with another massacre as a 21-year-old gunned down 8 people in a village near the capital Belgrade. Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić pledged to launch a large-scale disarmament plan, while police vowed to deploy officers to patrol around schools. And in sports, Plateau United's ambition to participate in the Super 6 fixtures for the Nigerian Professional Football League title was cut to at the new stadium in Jos, with visitor Remo Stars stunning the Highlanders with a 2-1 away victory. Saidu Salisu's strike inside the box gave the Highlanders the lead in the 70th as the goal stunned the visitors, who became more adventurous up front, mounting pressure until the Plateau defense caved in for the equalizer from Adams Olalekan, punishing a careless defense to level scores for the visitors in the 81st minute. As the game was winding down, Olalekan Adebayo sealed victory for the visitors with a long-range strike that left Plateau keeper stranded for the winner in the 8-8. The victory in Jos placed Remo Stars in the 3rd position with 30 points and Plateau United in the 5th with 25 points in Group A of the Abridged League. In English Premier League, however, Arsenal kept the league title race alive as Martin Odegaard's strike and Fabian Scar's own goal beat Newcastle 2-0 on Sunday to close to within 1 point of leaders Manchester City. City have a game in hand on top of their slender lead, but the Gunners are refusing up the fight in their hunt for a first league title in 19 years. Newcastle's second home defeat of the season slows the Magpies' charge towards Champions League football next season as they lead over 5th place. Liverpool remains 3 points. And with the sport news, we've come to the end of our bulletin for today. You can follow us on our social media handles at Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Unity Radio FM TV, respectively. You can also watch us live on the satellite decoder Nicomsat, which has been watched in about 8 countries of the world free. You can also watch us and stream us live on our YouTube channel at Unity FM TV. I am Rukayat Sani Ibrahim. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of our programs.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was seeing things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
Unity. Unity.